How about a scent that embodies all four elements, earth, wind, fire, and water? Of course, I'm talking about the classic from the 90s, Hugo Boss, Boss Elements. Guys, you want to hear all about it? Let's do it. What is up, FragFam? Welcome back to your fragrance channel. Max Forti here, of course. Today we're going to talk about the CFR, the classic fragrance review. The fragrance at hand that we're going to dive in today, of course, Hugo Boss, Boss Elements. Before we do that, just want to ask you guys, if you do enjoy the channel, don't forget to show your support. It means a lot to me. All you have to do is hit that like button, subscribe for a lot more, and of course, don't forget to enable notifications so you guys always get first dibs on anything and everything that happens in the fragrance world straight into your feed. All right, let's talk about Hugo Boss, Boss Elements. Now, this particular fragrance was released back in 1993. This one here brings back memories. I actually found out about this fragrance right around 1996, but I actually started wearing it heavily for work in college back between 97 and 1999. For about 2 years or so, this was one of my go-to. I had a 100 ml bottle that I really wore it. All I needed was like 2 to 3 sprays and that would last me the whole day. I really love the motif here. It's a bronze style kind of a box. I really like the bottle as well. It has this rocky kind of element. It's a little bit embossed. You have this uneven kind of a bottle. It's rectangular, but it's all over the place, almost like a rock. And again, it's supposed to encapsulate all the different elements. The motto here for this fragrance was, when was the last time you felt all the elements, meaning water, earth, wind, and fire. The sprayers are actually pretty nice. You get a really nice mist that you can control. Whether you spray harder or lighter, you're going to get more or less of a distribution. The scent itself is really good, but we'll get to it in a sec. You have 2 main sizes, of course, 50 ml, the one I have, and of course 100 ml, which I don't own anymore. Not readily available, kind of hard to find, but not too hard. If you look carefully enough, you'll be able to get a bottle, and might I add, not for too much, which is great. Being a discontinued scent, from the 90s, you're looking to pay between, I want to say, 45 to 60 bucks, depending on the size and how full or whatever, which is really not bad for such a great scent. There is also an aqua version of this scent, which I don't own, I never did, but actually smells pretty good. I might actually try to get a bottle of that as well. The mission statement, or the promo for this fragrance back in the 90s, was for the man who is in touch with all the elements in his life, which I thought was pretty cool. The classification of this fragrance is it's a woody aromatic. I don't know who the perfumer is. If you guys know it, please drop it below and share it with us. Concentration for this fragrance is actually EDT, eau de toilette, but actually performs really well. So what this fragrance smells like. So back in the 90s, the mid-90s, early 90s, the whole fragrance world, especially in the masculine side of things, we're going through a transition phase where, most fragrances were very aromatic, fruity, and aquatic. But this fragrance here is far from that. It's actually a breath of fresh air within all that craziness that was going on. This fragrance borrowed elements from classic fougères such as, coriander, lavender, leather, but it also had some really cool nuances of the modern day perfumery back then, which now is a total timeless classic, especially due to the fact that it's discontinued and you really can't find anything in the market today that smells like this. So when you first spray this particular fragrance, you're going to get an aldehydic, sweet, fruity kind of nuance. As the fragrance develops into the heart, you're going to get some really beautiful florals that will come to play, like violet, rose, for instance. Then you're going to have a little bit of an herbaceous kind of an undertone with clary sage, as well as thyme. This fragrance also has a great fruity nuance to the scent that will, be a part of the fragrance from beginning to end due to the fact that it has a combination of juniper berries, tangerine, and plum. You guys know how much I love plum in my fragrances. This one here is no different. The fragrance will dry down. Again, will continue to have that green, herbaceous, and fruity nuance, but also will have other components that are very green and woodsy that will come to play. For instance, sandalwood, which will give a little bit of a creaminess to the scent, cedar, that will give us a little bit of sharpness, as well as a beautiful earthy undertone of oak moss that will come to play as you get to the dry down. All in all, a great woody, aromatic, fruity, green and earthy kind of scent. Again, it hits you from all different angles. It has a plethora of notes, but they are very well balanced. The fragrance is never sharp or too stringent or too hard to wear. In fact, it's quite the opposite. This is very pleasant, it's mass appealing, and like I said, if this was actually released now, if this was available today, would definitely be one of my top go-tos and a very pleasant fragrance to wear, and I think people would really enjoy it. What does Boss Elements remind me of? It actually reminds me of one fragrance. It does remind me of Creed's Himalaya. This perhaps is a sweeter and fruitier version of Himalaya, with that juniper berries, tangerine, and plum nuance that you get with this fragrance that you don't get with Himalaya, which is a more earthy, drier kind of a scent. So if you wanted something sweeter and definitely fruitier, definitely check this one out. The performance with Elements was actually quite impressive. I get 7+ hours, a whole day's work. So if I'm planning to wear this as my scent of the day, I will get the whole day's worth. So if a fragrance gives me 7+ hours, it's a winner in my books. As far as sillage, it's quite good. The fragrance will project for about 2 hours really strongly, and the sillage is amazing. It'll stay throughout your day. It will stay within your presence as you walk around. You're gonna smell it, and those around you will definitely smell it. You don't need more than two to three sprays with this fragrance to do really well. If you spray your clothes, it'll be there the very next day. Boss Elements, as I said before, if it was available today, it would easily be in my rotation of favorite scents to wear for work. It would be one of my workhorses, as it were, back in 1997, 1999. This is very versatile. It's easy to wear. You can dress it up, dress it down, but I think it's best for work or more casual wear, but you can dress it up if you want to. It's extremely versatile, very appealing. It has that floral, earthy, woodsy nuance with the fruits. There's not an aquatic vibe here per se, but you do get the aldehydic, which gives you somewhat of an aquatic vibe. But all in all, it's a great woody aromatic scent that it's just very pleasant, very mass appealing, and extremely versatile. My final thoughts on Boss Elements is just one. I wish Hugo Boss would bring this back. Simple as that. It's a great scent, and there's nothing as unique for an aromatic scent that lasts as long as this does. So please, Hugo Boss, if you're listening to this, bring this back. So this is the time of the video where I want you guys to let me know what your favorite Hugo Boss fragrances are. If you like some of the older ones and you missed them, please drop them below. Or what is your favorite Hugo Boss fragrance of now? What's available today that you absolutely can't do without? Please comment down below. Ladies and gents, thank you so much for tuning in. Of course, as always, stay fragrant, keep on spraying, but remember, it's not just what you spray, but it's also how you play. I'll catch you in the next one.